Hey everybody, how is it going today? Well, in this video, I want to talk about another penny stock that has been on an absolute tear. There's tons of volume pouring into this stock, and there is no signs of it slowing down anytime soon. I'm going to go over a little bit about what this company does and then give you my current thoughts on their daily chart and how I plan to trade this stock. Now, if you are new to my channel, I like to find short-term and long-term trading and investing opportunities in typically lower-priced stocks. I like to find undervalued stocks with high growth potential and talk about all other things finance-related as well. If that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before buying any of these stocks. Jaguar Health is a biopharmaceutical company that focuses on treating gastrointestinal conditions in both humans and animals. Its lead drug, Mytesi, which has U.S. Food and Drug Administration approval, works as an antidiarrheal in individuals with HIV and AIDS who take antiretroviral medication. Mytesi has a basic normalizing effect locally on the gut, and this mechanism of action has the potential to benefit multiple gastrointestinal disorders. Mytesi is in development for multiple possible follow-on indications as well, including diarrhea related to targeted cancer therapy, orphan drug indications for infants and children with congenital diarrheal disorders and short bowel syndrome, supportive care for inflammatory bowel disease, and irritable bowel syndrome. In addition, the second-generation proprietary anti-secretory agent is in development for cholera. Their second product, Canalevia, is Jaguar's drug product candidate for chemotherapy-induced diarrhea, or CID, in canines. Canalevia is a canine-specific formulation of crofelemer, an active pharmaceutical ingredient isolated and purified from the Croton lecleri tree. Jaguar has received minor use in major species designation for Canalevia for CID in dogs. Now, in recent news, Jaguar Health announced that it is investigating Leclamer, a new plant-based drug candidate. According to the press release, the company launched preclinical studies through its subsidiary, Napo Pharmaceuticals. And additionally, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases has agreed to give preclinical support to Jaguar Health. So why is Leclamer important? Well, Jaguar Health believes it could relieve cholera-induced diarrhea, and more importantly, Leclamer works very similarly to crofelemer, the active component of Mytesi. Now, they also believe crofelemer could relieve cancer therapy-induced diarrhea as well as COVID-induced diarrhea. So this could be another big potential revenue stream for Jaguar Health. Now, if we jump over to Seeking Alpha and take a look at some of their financials, we can see it's kind of a mixed bag. If we look at the top-line revenue, we can see the top-line revenue has been growing very well, especially year over year from 18 to 19. And if we come over here to the trailing 12 months, we can see they did 8.3 million. So they are certainly accelerating, and so things are looking on the up and up as far as top-line revenue. If we scroll down to the net income, we can see it's not such a rosy picture because this has been accelerating to the downside, all the way down to a loss of 38.5 million in 2019. But if we go to the trailing 12 months over here, we can see that has been reduced. Doggone it. We can see has been reduced to 31 million. So things are starting to turn around a little bit for Jaguar Pharmaceuticals. And if we jump over to the balance sheet real quick, we take a look at their cash and cash equivalents. We can see that that is rising. It has risen from 0.7 million to about 3.5 million. So, of course, that's always a good thing when your cash position is rising. And if we go down to the total liabilities, and if that looks like that is dropping. It's been a little volatile, but it looks like it is starting to drop again. So that is always a good thing as well. And another thing I like to look at on these penny stocks is how many shares have been outstanding at the, in the past and at the moment. And if we look at the total common shares outstanding, we can see in December of 2015, there was over 108 million and has fallen all the way down to 14.3 million. So there must have been a pretty massive reverse split in there. We'll probably take a look and see if they did that when we go to the charts. But, when you look at the financials of Jaguar Health, it's really not terrible. And it looks like they are actually improving. So from the financials point of view, I think it's actually looking like it's on the up and up, so that is always a plus for these penny stocks. But let's get over to the charts. All right, so if we jump over to the charts, this is the daily chart of Jaguar Health Incorporated, ticker symbol JAGX. I keep wanting to call this company Jaguar Pharmaceuticals, but it's Jaguar Health. But as we can see today, it is up huge again. It is up is up over 44% at the moment. So it's just a massive gain. And if you look at the stock back in late November, this thing was trading for about 20 cents a share. So it is up to almost $4 a share right now. So we are looking at almost a 20 bagger in just a little bit more than a month. I mean, these penny stocks have been absolutely red hot. It seems like a lot of the momentum has come out of the hot sector like the SPACs and has just been channeled into the penny stocks because everybody and their brother is doing videos about penny stocks. If you do like to trade lower price stocks, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I always trade lower price stocks. So when this mania runs out, I will still be trading these and I'll still be showing you guys some of the things that I like to use to trade them. But if we back out, I can show you why I like this stock so much right now. We can see how long this base was. And if you have been following my channel at all, I love to see a nice long base in a penny stock before it gets going. When it has a nice long base, it has the tendency to have a more sustainable uptrend. But there is the reverse split that we saw on the financials. It was a 1 for a 70, so this thing did have a massive reverse split. Actually had two of them. It's another one back in June of 2018. That was a 1 for 15. So the share count has been drastically reduced via the reverse split, so it's not going to take as much buying power to start pushing this one up. And that's probably one of the big reasons why it is screaming up so much in this last month. I mean, some of these trading days haven't been all that monstrous. Well, this trading day was up over 600 million. So that is a monstrous trading day, 655 million. But anyway, this stock is showing no signs of slowing down just yet. I would expect a pullback in it, like a pullback down to this 8-period exponential moving average before the next leg up, but you never know. Tomorrow could be actually Monday could be another big gap up. So you can't really tell with these penny stocks because they are just moving so far, so fast right now because they're red hot. But let's get to the intraday chart and take a closer look at this trend. But if we jump over to the 15-minute chart, we can see how beautiful some of these trends really turned out. I mean, if we zoom into them, let me go back a little bit if I can. There we go. I mean, this was just a beautiful explosion to the upside. Had the slight rounding bottom, and as we go forward, jumps right back above that 8-period exponential moving average and starts another uptrend. So you could just follow that uptrend all the way up if you jump in as it breaks above it and ride it all the way till it comes down below it, and that would be over a 100% move just in those couple of days. And if we go forward a little bit, we can see that it makes another beautiful rounding bottom. Boom, gets right back above that 8-period exponential moving average, and you can ride the wave again. And if we look at it at the moment, guess what it's doing? Riding that 8-period exponential moving average, breaking out into a new high. So this one might not even be done moving up because it is just consolidated at the 8-period exponential moving average and is starting to tear higher. So this thing could be gapping up on Monday because it doesn't show any sign of the momentum falling. What you want to do is if you're in this stock, break it down to an intraday chart. I like to look at the 15 and the hourly charts, but if you break it down to the hourly or the 15-minute chart, if you're in one of these uptrends, once it starts to fail the 8-period exponential moving average, you can see that it's probably going to take a little break in the uptrend until it can consolidate for a little bit and break back above it. So when you are trading these stocks on the daily chart, if you're looking at the daily chart, always go in and check out the intraday chart, and you can start to see the momentum starting to turn before it shows up on the daily chart. Because they always show up in the lower time frames first. You know, the 5-minute chart will start to turn one way or the other, and then if it keeps going, the 15-minute starts to turn, and then the hourly, and et cetera, et cetera. But that's how you can get a jump start on the beginning of the trend if you break it down intraday, and you can tell whether it's either going to start moving back up or start to fail. But if you jump into I like to use the 15-minute chart more than the 5-minute chart, but you can look at the 5-minute and you know, the 15 or the 30-minute just to try to get your turn signal just a little bit faster. But just looking at this 15-minute, still looks like it has very, very strong momentum to the upside. Let's go back to the daily chart real quick here. All right, so now we're back at the daily chart. I just wanted to point out one more thing that I forgot that I like to look for on these stocks. You know, of course, when you get the long base, I'm going to have to zoom back a little bit to get rid of this huge explosion because we are interested in finding these stocks before they explode to the upside. But if I zoom out let me see if I can situate it just right. If I zoom out just a little bit, you can start to see these big volume spikes. I mean, when I zoom forward, you're probably not even going to be able to see them because this volume is so massive compared to it. But if we go back to it, you can start to see these volume spikes. Now, what these volume spikes indicate is some quiet accumulation. Like what they'll do is they'll try to buy a bunch of big blocks. These are big traders or big institutions trying to accumulate it on the down low because they don't want to tip their hand to the market just yet. So for a day or two, you know, they'll grab a ton of shares and then they'll remove their buy orders. And then if the stock is not being supported by all that demand on the stock, it'll start to drift down a little bit. And, you know, guys like me that like to short-term trade, once we see the volume coming in and the stock starting to go up, you know, that's when guys like me jump in, and what they're trying to do is shake guys like me out. Because when stock starts to roll over and fail like this, that's usually when I close my position out and go look for another opportunity. But if you stick with these charts, you can see once you get this move up right here, what I like to see when I see a move up like this, I like to go back a few months and see how much accumulation has been done. If it's been going sideways, you start seeing a bunch of these green spikes, that means it's under accumulation. If you go back a few months and you see a bunch of red spikes, that means it's been under distribution. So if you have a bunch of this quiet accumulation, that's somebody trying to accumulate stock on the down low, so when it does go on its run, they can feed it to the retail traders. So that is one thing you want to look for when you see a stock starting to break out. Go back a few months and look and see if there has been some quiet accumulation. If there's been some quiet accumulation, there's a very good possibility that this breakout is going to have some legs to it. So that is just a quick tip when you're looking at these penny stocks. You want to see that long consolidation is optimal. And then you also want to look for the volume spikes. That would be your next clue to look for. But that is my current thoughts on JAGX. I'm currently not in this, but if it does pull back, depending on how the pullback looks, I think I want to be an owner of this stock because this stock is still very strong. There's still a ton of buying volume coming into it. So as far as I can see, there's no signs of it rolling over just yet. All right, well, before I close this video out, I do want to talk about Zomedica Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol ZOM. I talked about this one in my video yesterday, and I was hoping it was going to pull back to this 8-period exponential moving average, but it looks like it's starting to take off without me because it's up over 17% at the moment. I'm really hoping it's going to hang around and give me a chance to enter at that moving average, but it is just really strong at the moment. Volume is coming in. It's already above average volume, and the trading day is not over yet. But I was really hoping it was going to come down to this moving average like it did on all these other points of the chart before it took off, which I still think that it can. But there's definitely a lot of strength in this stock. And if I back out of it, you can see all of the volume spikes that were coming in before the move up. I do think this move is just getting started. Let's go to the intraday chart real quick. But if we look at the 15-minute chart on Zomedica, we can see that it was pulling back and starting to round up a little bit, but it is now blasted above that 8-period exponential moving average, and it is holding it. So the next part of this uptrend could already be underway, so I might have to jump the gun and get in now because this might not be pulling back to that moving average for me. I'm going to watch it just a little bit longer. But as we can see, I mean, it's already popping above the moving average, and it's probably going to be riding it up. So if you guys did watch that video yesterday and you did buy in, you're doing pretty good so far, and it looks like the trend up could just be starting. So Zomedica Pharmaceuticals is looking strong, and it could be breaking out already. All right, guys, that's all I have for this one, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Please like this video so we can get JAGX up into the YouTube algorithm. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. I want to thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. And until next time, take care, everybody.